Welcome to week 2 of Friday Night Lights. I'm Alexis Bass. No, I didn't disappear. I just returned from Greece. So thanks for joining us. We bring tonight's slate with the game of the night, none other than the Hammer Game, a tradition as old as time. Daniel, over 8 decades old, vintage.
Ancient, vintage. Combine the words, that's what it is. Hermantown's owned the Hammer since 2020. Their most recent win last year, a 72-point shutout victory. Bass, take us to the Hawks' nest.
I'll take you there. Hawks hosting Rails here in week 2. First drive in third place. Sawyer Sense hands it off to Martin Sleene, the mean machine, bulldogging his way through every defender in sight. Easy money, and the junior puts the Hawks on the board first. It's 7-0. As I said, he's a machine. Right back to it. Mr. Sleene hauling in back-to-back touchdowns to double the Hawks' lead, 14-0. Rails unable to read or stop the run game. Sense with another successful handoff to Sleene. They're cooking. That's 21 points on the big board for the Big Dogs. And there's still 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. So at this rate, you better believe the home team continued with their home cooking, this time through the air, Sense slinging it to senior wideout Tanner Homestead. That's bread in the basket. Hawks did not allow a single score through the rest, but added several more themselves to move to 2-0 on the season, falling to, get this, 89-0 final.
I still love you, Proctor. Now to the aptly named Igloo for a battle between Esko and Cloquet. Esko with a long first drive capped off by the tush push. Senior quarterback Easton Harker with the 2-yard touchdown run to give Esko the icebreaker at 7-0. But Cloquet responded with a long drive of their own. Senior running back Aiden Nelson chugging right into your living room on that 12-yard touchdown scamper. Jacks missed the 2-pointer, so they trail 7-6. To the second quarter now, Esko pressing at the goal line. No, that's not number 3, Coy Parrish. It's number 3, Logan Dullman. He pays his respects with a rushing touchdown of his own. Esko goes back up 14-7. But Cloquet, they'd keep chopping away. Junior running back Jack Horvat bullies his way into pay dirt for the touchdown, then also gets the 2-point conversion, the rare octopus for Cloquet. They tie it up 14-all. This turned into a true nail-biter for both student sections, but it was Esko who squeaks out a 1-point victory, 21-20 over Cloquet.
Ooh, that's a good one. Now to the dog pound, where the Greyhounds of Duluth East hosted their home opener. East set up 4th and goal on 2, but the pass from the quarterback is off the mark. Big stop by Brainerd, who takes over on downs. After a scoreless first quarter, the Warriors go to the Wildcats. Senior running back Jaden Barnum punches it in, and Brainerd takes the 7-0 lead. Duluth East trying the passing attack in the second quarter, but they're intercepted by the Warriors' Jonas Rasky. Brainerd with a big takeaway to give their offense another shot. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Barnum on the direct snap again takes it in for his second touchdown of the half, but it was the Brainerd defense who were dominant all game long, helping the Warriors cruise to a 38-0 shutout over Duluth East.
And you mentioned it from the top house. Lots of shutouts elsewhere. The Hibbing Blue Jackets, North Branch Vikings went head-to-head. Hibbing getting shut out 36-0. Meanwhile, the Denfeld Hunters visited C.J. Ham's home at the TCO Center to take on the Two Harbors Agates. Those Agates pounding the rock all night long, shutting them out 23-0. Way up north, the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks fell to Bemidji 24-7. As for Ely and the I Falls Broncos, it's those Broncos who get the decisive 59-8 win.
And up on the range, the MIB Rangers are 2-0 after a 34-16 win. Meanwhile, their rivals, the Cherry Tigers, were blanked 14-0 by the Mesabi East Giants.